Meeting to order. Could we have a roll call, please?
Archie. Baronis. Present. Boland.
Here.
Gadding. Johnson. Verrett. Williams.
7 present, 0 absence. We have a quorum. Could we join together for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Okay, we'll move to the superintendent's report. First is good news.
Good evening.
Good evening, Dr. Gilbert.
Our good news for our meeting today. Steuben has received a donation. We'd like to specifically thank Walmart in Kankakee for donating school supplies to families and staff for the upcoming school year. So thank you very much, Walmart, and congratulations to Steuben for receiving this donation.
Thank you. And we'll move right into instruction.
All right, so this evening, I have a few updates for you as the presentation is loading. The first one is to share with you a little bit about our Student Engagement Conference. That is coming tomorrow, beginning tomorrow, Tuesday, the 13th. It will also take place on the 14th. Both days will be held at Kankakee High School. This is available for our staff, and we have several community partners I would like to recognize and thank for their participation. They are participating both as presenters as well as for one of our fairs that will be taking place for our staff to enjoy and learn more about them. We have Aunt Martha's Trio, First Taste, Riverside Behavioral Health, Olivet Nazarene, ICANN will also be in attendance. Kankakee United, the City of Kankakee's Economic and Community Development Agency, our health centers, Harbor House, Uplifted Care Grief Center, Merchant Street Art Gallery and Artists, Kankakee Forgives, Sleep in Heavenly Peace, Kankakee Community College, Catholic Charities, Lands and Hands Community Resources, Rise and Thrive, the Kankakee County State's Attorney's Office, Project Sun, the Helen Wheeler Center for Community Mental Health, and Child Network will all be in attendance at our community fair. So if you have an opportunity, doors open at 8. Our keynote, I heard, is going to be pretty good. Her name is, no, I'm sorry, it's myself that will be starting at 9 o'clock. I'm joking. But more importantly, we have our teams, all of our schools will be in attendance. I believe it's Steuben right now that had 100% of their staff register to attend. So congratulations to Steuben, they're rocking the house. Our principals will have some team time built in throughout the day to really allow these sessions that they attend to dig deeper into their school improvement plans and opportunities to continue to do the best things for our students in their schools. So if you have an opportunity to stop by, we're very excited to have you.
Thank you.
We also have a registration update. My goodness, what a difference a few weeks make. So we last shared this information on July 22nd. And since then, we have registered over 1,349 students. Nice. So congratulations to all the schools, their administrative assistants, and all of our parents and community members that have registered students, brought them in to register. As of last time, we only had, we had about 1,900 students that weren't verified, so they haven't gone through the process yet, including 1,100 more students that have all been verified. Our student enrollment has gone up in almost all of the buildings with almost 64 more students from the July 22nd. 5 buildings have gone up, 3 have stayed the same, and 2 have gone down just by a few students. So if you've started and you haven't completed, so there's 147 families that have started the registration process and haven't completed it, we're here to continue to help and support you, because guess what's happening next week? School begins. So school's beginning on August 21st. Please come and continue to register your students there. Before school begins, we will have 2 Institute days on the 19th and 20th. The 19th, Dr. Lance will be welcoming all of our staff at LCC, so thank you to LCC. And there will be a special presentation by our band as well that morning. I know I gave away a secret surprise, so we're excited about that. They'll be welcoming everyone at 8:30. Our special education teachers will meet shortly thereafter, and then folks will return their buildings from 10:15 to 12:15 to have some building time. The next day and that afternoon are all teacher-owned time. On the 20th, staff will be participating in 3 required state-mandated trainings as well. And so they also will have time to set up the rooms and complete other GCN trainings as required. So very much looking forward to what's happening here over the next few days. And again, most importantly, seeing our students on August 21st.
Thank you very much, Dr.
I have a question.
Yeah, Mr.
For the high school, and this past spring, we had graduations at the junior high and at LCC. Do we know exactly how many kids are coming? Are we taking those numbers? If we had 30 kids that graduated from LCC and we had 240 from the junior high, is that the number that we put together and say, this is how many freshmen we're going to have?
That's
Do
a
we
good
know?
question. That's part of it. Yes, that is definitely
That's
part
part
of
of
it. Yes. So our matriculation of students as they work through the system and roll up, that is definitely part of that, as well as our new families that enroll in the district as well.
Okay. So we don't know, say 30 kids that graduated from the junior high doesn't go to the junior high, and you're posting those numbers now for the high school as not registering yet.
So we've had several outreach efforts taking place where principals and their buildings have been making phone calls. We've been sending skyward messages to families as well. Additionally, we've been looking at residency verification and going through the system to ensure all of our students that are Kankakee students are coming to school here and making those individual phone calls. I know Rachel's been doing a lot of that as well. So I feel pretty confident in these numbers and our ability to be able to reach those families, but obviously we still have some that still have yet to register.
Yeah, that's okay. Thank you.
Any other questions from the board? Okay,
Thank you.
thank you very much. Next, we have a business and finance report.
Oh, it looks like I did a PowerPoint for this one, too. All right. Well, good evening to everybody. I just wanted to take a few moments. I know this is a rather busy slide. You do have it in the board docs, I believe. This is just kind of an overall look at how our district is doing for the month of July, both currently and then compared to July last year. And I just wanted to take a moment here to point out, we closed out June with about $21,346,000 in the bank, and we've added about $18 million in revenues, received property taxes and some state funds as well. And we've spent about $7,400,000, and we are closing the month with $31,968,000. Now, that's to be expected. We spend less in July because school isn't in, so once we get going, that'll pick up. But as of right now, we are operating very flush. So just as a quick revenue, you can see that we have picked up about 19% of our revenue for the year. So obviously, that's going to have to carry us for a month or two. And the lion's share of that right now has been property taxes that have been paid. Our expenditures, as you can see, are only about 7% of the year for the month of July. Again, it's a slow month. And you can see the various objects in the table below that tell you what that's been spent on. The lion's share of that is payroll and benefits and a lot of purchase services to get ready for the year. So we're well on our way in that respect. And we have spent more than this time last year, but I can't speak to the reasons why at this point. The the third graph just shows our cash flow, obviously being the first month of the fiscal year. We only have 1 month to show, but you can see we have revenues exceeding last year, July, and our end of the month fund balances have been slightly less than last year, July. And then I think that was the end of that one, but are there any questions on just a quick update to the finances?
Any questions on the monthly report? Okay, there are none. Thank you.
Okay, so real quick, I just have a few things that are coming up. We have our prevailing wage ordinance. That's something that's supposed to be done every year. The last time it's been done, at least that I can find, is in 2018. So we just need to update that. That's a requirement under state law. And it also makes sure that all of our contractors who work on our buildings know they have to pay prevailing wage as the law requires. One of the items is also making some concrete repairs at the transportation center. As we know, there's a lot of big buses that roll over a small amount of concrete multiple times a day, and we have 2 areas that are in desperate need of repair. And I did include the portion of the lease document that shows why we're paying for this as opposed to the landlord. You can see the scope of the projects there. Probably the Area 2 project will be completed before school starts. The Area 1 project will likely have to wait for a long weekend because that includes concrete that's got to cure before we drive on it. And it's in front of the fueling station, so we can't block that when we need to have school. So we're just asking for approval so we can move forward when those are ready. And finally, we have our facility assessment and 10-year life safety inspection. There have been a lot of construction projects done since the last life safety inspection in 2017, and we need to see where we are so we can make some well-informed decisions on where we want to go. What I would ideally like to do is work with the board to set up a facility master plan and declare our priorities so we can start moving forward when we have resources to do so. And both projects, you can see the costs there. We're completing them together, even though it hasn't been 10 years since the last life safety inspection. We might as well just go ahead and do it together. It'll save us a little money in the long run. Plus, if there are life safety issues, we'll find them now and incorporate them into our plans. Plus, there are some changes in the law that allow us to better finance life safety improvements. So just good time to do that. So for me, that's what I have, if there's any questions.
Any questions from the board? Seeing none, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Dale. Ms. Fountain, we have the Personnel and Human Resources report.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Just want to go through, August 5th, we started our new teacher orientation, and that whole week we had over 40 new teachers attend new teacher orientation. New teachers participated in team building activities. They also met with building level administrators, and teachers also were trained the whole week on district technology and also the reading and the math curriculum. I just want to go over the hiring process for the district for interviews for teachers and paraprofessionals, building principals, and their team. We encourage each principal to have a team of teachers that represent their building to be a part of that process. For building level administrators, we have the assistant superintendent of HR and the team. And then for directors, central office administrators, we have members of cabinet and a team along with that. Right now in the district, with teaching vacancies with some recent resignations, we have 15 vacancies total at King, Kennedy, Kankakee Junior High, and Kankakee High School. We do have quite a few hires that we have in the board packet this evening, and some that will also go on the August 26th board meeting. And I know our principals are busy interviewing candidates for those open vacant positions. I want to just briefly talk about contract negotiations. In your board packet tonight, you have the paraprofessional contract or the negotiations. We're done with that, and the paraprofessionals ratified their contract. And so before you for board approval tonight is the paraprofessional negotiations contract. And then last week, we finished up with transportation. And so the transportation department will be taking it to their members for ratification of the contract. And hopefully for the August 26th board meeting, we can bring to you a contract for transportation. And finally, we do have a candidate for hire in your board packet tonight for the assistant principal at Montessori School. Tonight, pending your approval, we have Ms. Erin Goldenstein. Ms. Goldenstein, can you stand up? Ms. Goldenstein has a bachelor's in elementary education from Illinois State University. She has a master's degree in educational psychology from the University of Wisconsin, Milwaukee, as well as a master's degree in educational administration and leadership from Grand Canyon University. Ms. Goldenstein has 10 years of teaching experience and 5 years of administrative experience as a dean of instruction, assistant principal, and principal. This would be her 6th year serving Kankakee School District 111.
Thank you.
Are there any questions?
Any board member have a question? Thank you, Ms. Fountain.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we're to the point of the agenda for public comments. We have some people who have signed up, and we'll be calling your name shortly. Want to remind those who are going to be making comments, please give your name and direct your comments to the board. I will recognize members of the audience who wish to make comments to the board regarding topics related to school district business. The board will take all comments under advisement without discussion, which means the board will not respond tonight. If a member of the public raises an issue or concern that requires follow-up, either the board president or superintendent will do so in a timely manner. Please give your name, direct your comments to the board. Please limit any comments regarding any individual or any attack on any individual. That will not be permitted. Comments are limited to 5 minutes, and all individuals are to conduct themselves with respect and civility towards others. Michael Prude is first.
Good afternoon. I am Alderman Michael Prude. I am coming on behalf of the YEP program. I just have a couple of comments I'd like to make about that. I know that the program has been cut because of lack of funds, and I understand that funds are supposed to be on its way, but I also know that there are funds that were allocated from the city of Kankakee. As an alderman, I know that it was allocated $300,000 to the city, to the school district for YEP. And I know that the majority of them funds are still there. They have not been used. And I know that when the project came about, it was for trade, for housing. That project never got off the ground. The city was supposed to give a house. So there was $130,000 allocated for youth employment. So I would like to know, have that been talked to the mayor about using that fund to keep this program going for right now? We have students that have been working for years. I know when I was in school, we had youth employment, and I'm going to tell you how long ago I was in school. That program has always been there for kids working for all those years. So I'm going to say almost 50 years. All right. So right now we having kids not working at all, and I think that is a problem. My part of working with youth employment was working to cut grass and do hedges and all of that. And what I was doing, I was supplying a job for helping seniors and disabled that didn't have the money to get their yards done. So even with this program stopping, all those people for the last 3 years that I've been cutting their grass, they now got to find some way to get their yards cut and pay somebody. This was done for free for them. So I'm asking the school board to look into that $300,000, have a chat with the mayor to see if we could get that money allocated to keep this program going until the funds come. Again, I understand when the funds run out, things have to stop. And the last thing I have to say about that is, I think that all the kids should have been called in. I got a call about the kids that was working with me. So I think that all the kids should have been called in and sat down and explained why this happened. That didn't happen. So our kids in the uproar said, okay, the 9th was my last day. So I think it should have been done in a way where they could have understood why this program shut down. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Luke Shepard.
Good evening, Superintendent Lance and Board of Education. My name is Luke Shepard. You know me, I'm a lifelong resident of Kankakee School District 111 and a graduate. Almost every single one of you heard this spiel before, but Superintendent Lance. I'm here about my road to safety. I want it at the high school. You guys heard me. You heard the complaints or my complaints about it. If you look up any incident that's happened out there, almost every single one of them is there's a lack of entrance for fire, EMS, and police. I think we need it. It's going to be too late when something happens there. I hate to say it. That's that one. I'll stop that one. Brought up last year about the trailers that you guys have students in at the high school. And it was about this time last year. And we were told in October those kids would have been in school or in the main high school. They were not. I came back. I was told they would be there in the high school in January. They were not. This year, they're still in those trailers. We still do not have a permanent bathroom out there. Last year I was told, can't find them. I have them right here. And there's a place in Hazel Crest, Black Tie Products. They have them. They can be winterized for the winter, and you can use them. I still go back to the show Hidden Figures with the lady running in the rain, in the cold, to the bathroom, and she wasn't getting her work done. Not only that, you have the females who have female problems, and they need something sanitary instead of just a porta potty outside those trailers. I've seen Aroma Park School is back in the news about your classes possibly going back to there. And when Aroma Park School closed, my biggest thing was that's the safest building you guys own. If there's a fire, if there's an explosion, if there's a chemical problem, if there's a tornado, or if there's mass casualties, every single one of those rooms has an exit to the outside. You don't have to go through the hallways. You can go straight outside from every single one of those rooms. That's the safest building Kankakee School District has for emergency evacuation. Thank you, and I hope to hear from you.
Thank you. Next is Nakaya Jones. And if I mispronounced your first name, I apologize. Can you tell me how to say it to make sure? You said it right. Okay, thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nakaya Jones. Good evening, members of the school board and the newest superintendent, Dr. Lance. I am here this evening to address the issues concerning the sudden dismantle of the YEP program. I am just here to get clarification on the reasoning behind this decision without any logical explanation. This program has been funded by grants over the years, not money that is cutting into the district's budget or resources. It is grant money that is specifically for the YEP program. This program has done so much for the students of our community. It has been a mentor program, a mediation program, and an employment program for students who are in desperate need of all of these services. Young ladies have benefited greatly from this program with mending relationships with peers as well as learning better ways to solve problems that they have experienced between other students. The YEP program has also provided so much instance on our students on different types of continuing education institutions such as our local community college and universities, Ivy League schools, and even exposure to HBCUs, something that many of the students in our small town didn't even know existed, or what HBCU even stood for until YEP program gave them all different kinds of exposure to these many different colleges and universities. The students in Kankakee have always been left behind in times where it came to many things academically until our previous leadership took a step out on faith and had the courage and found many resources to bring Kankakee School District 111 up to speed with surrounding districts and communities. Youth employment has been a part of our district well before YEP became a thing, so why is it being taken away now? Why does it seem like the students in the community are being punished instead of being encouraged to keep working hard towards their education and futures? Many kids who work within the YEP program aren't doing it just for fun. Many of them are working to have money to be able to go off to college. Others are working to help their families through hard times. And then there are students within our district who are working because they don't have a family or parents at all to provide with the necessities that they need. Funding is available for students to work. The city reimburses the district more than $100,000 every year for students employed. So I ask again, why are we cutting this program? There isn't anything in this town for these children to do as it is, and why would we want to take away one of the most positive additions that we've seen in so many years? I just want to, my daughter, she was in the YEP program, and this program has been, amazing for her, because she wanted to quit running track and just to leave and go and get a job. Her academics, she was going to KCC, doing her schooling, but she just wanted to just get a regular job because she wanted to be able to be responsible, to go buy things that I couldn't provide because I'm a single parent. Some things that I was able to help her with, some things I couldn't help her with. But with this program, it helped her out so much, and I've seen a big change in her to where she was able to still work with the YEP program and still do her sports. And right now she's graduated, but I'm just here because the other kids in the school, they need this program. I just wanted to say that my daughter now, she doesn't work, she doesn't go to school there anymore, but she was still able to run track, and she has a full ride scholarship for SIU. So I just want you guys to consider please.
Thank you very much. Sanaya White?
Hi, my name is Sanaya White. I'm an incoming junior at Kankakee High School. Today I'm here to speak on behalf of students in the YEP program and address concerns that we have with our program ending suddenly. So first we would like to be notified about when the program is ending and why exactly it is ending, and if there will be an alternative to help with the students who are now all out of a job on very short notice. We're hearing a lot of negative comments with adults claiming we do not do anything. Our work goes unnoticed and unappreciated. We spend countless hours setting up equipment for games, cleaning up after games no matter the time, after already being at school since 7 a.m., helping janitors clean to provide upkeep of our school, mowing lawns and doing yard work free of charge for people who are medically disabled, working events that staff are begged to volunteer and tend to, working at all office levels and main office to help out with things that will slow staff down as they are expected to do a million tasks. The list goes on. All we ask for is fair pay and respect. Kankakee is already not the most positive city. Why would anybody want to take away one of the few positive resources we have that'll not only keep us away from trouble, but also help us to support our families, whereas most of us come from single-parent homes. At the end of the day, we are not only students, we are thriving teenagers preparing for the real world, and it will be disappointing for our opportunity to come to an end while that decision is being persuaded by the adults we're supposed to trust to help our future. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Sanjay Butler?
Hi, my name is Sanjay Butler. I am an incoming senior, and I'm speaking on behalf of the students from YP. My question is, what about the janitorial and athletics program? Why is YP being the only one to terminate it? And why weren't we given a 2-week notice? I feel like as students, we're young adults, so if you're being fired from your job or things are being have to let go, you would get a notice. And I feel like we should have got that. And why is the program being terminated? Why couldn't we just reduce the hours or make it so we could reduce the money that we got paid per hour? That's all I want to say.
Okay, thank you. William Hill? William Hill? Okay. Jamarian Calvin? Jamarian Calvin? Okay. Robert Ellington Stipes?
Good evening to the members of the Board of Education, to Dr. Nance, the superintendent. Just want to say that it was a fruitful negotiations. We didn't get everything we wanted. I'm a particular individual that believes that the bottom numbers, I mean, the middles and the uppers is fine, but the bottom numbers, most of these individuals who come out of school, and then go to 2 years of college to get at least an associate degree or take an equivalency test and now have to be licensed by the state of Illinois. Those individuals should not be eligible for public assistance. And so we did some due diligence in moving the bottom number to $17 an hour. But mind you, many of them was just making $15, and that's basically where we have to go in January. So the next time that we are considering negotiations, I think I'll be retired by then, but when you do, look at the paraprofessionals as a profession, because it is one. They are licensed by the state of Illinois, as go the teachers, as go many of our most of our paraprofessionals. That's under there. We also deal with the nurses and clerks and things of that nature, but mostly the paraprofessionals and security. I think the contract before you is a concerted effort on the collaboration of both the Board of Education, the administration, and the union. And to that, we say thank you. The body has proved it unanimously. That means there was not one negative vote. So that showed on our side that it was a contract well bargained for. Now to put a period there and then to pick up here, I do notice that you have signs all over the place that tells them that this fish allergy is we are now a fish-free zone. And while I respect that, I had to look at other schools to see exactly what they do. They have an allergy-free zone within the lunchroom. And when I saw that, I thought that's probably one of the more constructive ways to kind of address that, to put no fish. What are you going to do when Lent comes? When majority of these individuals eat fish and now can't bring it, and they're going to say that's a religious basis, and so as a result, we think it's discriminative. We have to watch out that when we just look at the very few, and what about a peanut allergy? The person can have a peanut allergy, so are we going to knock out all the peanut butter in the school? I don't think so. I like peanut butter, but I also like fish, chicken, and everything else. But I'm here to say that for the purpose of this, we need to kind of rethink all the schools going fish-free, because I like a little catfish, shrimp and crab legs from time to time, and I'm sure others do as well. But I don't want them to be discriminative by not bringing it, especially when we have special elements where they have to abstain from certain meats or whatever, but yet they're allowed to eat the poultry. And then they, as you know, with Lent, they go to fish big time. So if we can kind of do like some of the other schools where they have just an allergy-free section of the cafeteria, I think that would be the better way to go. Just add something to your thinking. And other than that, I was so proud to see some of these students stand up at the microphone. Generally, the politicians and everyone else has to do it, but I heard them, and then they were eloquently able to speak. And I thought that was just a proud moment. So if anything, I wanted to just look out to them and shout out to them because they are speaking up. Go Caves.
For those of you concerned about the YAP program, if you stick around as opposed to leaving, which is typical, and I understand that, but in the announcements, I think Dr. Lance will have some explanations for you. So we now move on to the consent agenda, and I'm going to do something a little bit different. The consent agenda includes these following items: approval of the board minutes of July 22nd, approval of the special board minutes of July 26th, which is the board retreat, and July 27th, with the second day of the board retreat, approval of the regular bills, approval of payroll and related bills, approval of overnight field requests, or field trip requests, approval of resignations, approval of appointments, both for licensed educators, approval of appointments for extra duty assignments, approval of internal appointments for administrative personnel, approval of internal appointments for licensed education personnel and support, and finally, approval of terminations of personnel. First of all, is there any question? Does anybody have any item on the consent agenda that they were asked to be moved to the approval agenda?
I would like to know, you said in the back there were 3 people that you wanted to add to the hiring process for us to vote on?
No, there's one, I think there's an amendment to the salary on one of the people. The others will be dealt with next
board meeting, okay.
Okay. So I need a motion first to approve the consent agenda. So moved by Burrell, Mr. Williams, excuse me, second?
Second by
Seconded by Mr. Gavin. Is there a motion to amend an item on the consent agenda?
I'd like to make a motion to amend the salary for Patricia Ferris. The corrected amount should be $81,881.
Okay. Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Motion by Ms. Baronis, seconded by Mr. Gavin, to amend the consent agenda by amending the salary being paid to one of the employees being approved. Are there any questions? Is there any other issue related to the consent agenda? If not, will you please call the roll?
Archie?
Yes.
Baronis?
Yes.
Gathing?
Yes.
Johnston?
Yes.
Verrett?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Bolin?
Yes. 7 ayes, 0 nays. Motion carries. I would like at this point to acknowledge, I mentioned this last time, the following people: Cheryl Anderson, Marisa Avalos, Gary Beischer, Leah Jennings, Benjamin Johnson, Nestor Novak, Brittany Parsons, Grant Penrod, Eva Ilescas, Kara Schmidt, Dina Siroy, Austin Spack, Destiny Stone, Tracy Tepfer, Tracy Bell, John Copeland, Patricia Ferris, Denira Fisher, Maria Guzman, Sarah Hartman, Sherry Harwell, Jaden Jones, Alejandra Perez, Byron Richardson, Anna Marie Rosenberg, Kyla Smith, Samaya Smith, Joanne Velasquez, and Ms. Goldenstein, who we've already introduced. Those people have all just been approved for employment in our district. Congratulations. Moving on to action items. The first item is a ratification of the paraprofessional and approval of the paraprofessional contract. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Gathing. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Johnston. Is there any debate or discussion? Any debate or discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Baronis?
Yes.
Gathing?
Yes.
Johnston?
Yes.
Verrett?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Archie?
Yes.
Bolin?
Yes, 7 ayes, 0 nays. Congratulations to the negotiating team that was involved in this. I was involved in some other negotiations. I know what a brick off your shoulder it is when this gets approved. That's the only way I can describe it. So, next item is approval of the resolution to approve the amended joint agreement of the Kankakee Education for Employment Regional Delivery System. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Gathing, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Baronis. Any questions, any motion, any debate, any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll.
Gathing,
Yes.
Johnston.
Yes.
Verret,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Archie,
Yes.
Baronis,
Yes.
Bolin.
Yes, 7 ayes, 0 noes, motion carries. Number 3 is approval of the board and superintendent communication expectations. These are what came out of our board retreat. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Gathing, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Johnston. Are there any questions, comments? These are high expectations, guys.
You can do it.
Okay, thanks. Hearing no discussion or debate, please call the roll.
Johnston,
Yes.
Verret,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Archie,
Yes.
Baronis,
Yes.
Gathing,
Yes.
Bolin.
Yes, 7 ayes, 0 nays, motion carries. Next is the approval to adopt the prevailing wage ordinance for the fiscal year 2025. Apparently, this is the first year in 6 that we're getting this accomplished. Need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Gathing, second.
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Baronis. Any discussion, any questions? Please call the roll.
Verret,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Archie,
Yes.
Baronis,
Yes.
Gathing,
Yes.
Johnston,
Yes.
Bolin.
Yes, 7 ayes, 0 nays. Motion carries. Next is approval of the 10-year life safety survey and updated facility assessment that was discussed by Mr. Neal in his report. Need a motion for approval.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Gathing, Mr. Gathing, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Johnston. Any discussion or questions regarding this survey that's going to be done? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Williams,
Yes.
Archie,
Yes.
Baronis,
Yes.
Gathing,
Yes.
Johnston,
Yes.
Verret,
Yes.
Bolin.
Yes, 7 ayes, 0 nays, motion carries. Number 6 is approval of the contract with the Center for Model Schools for the 24-25 school year. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Gathing, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Johnston. Any questions or comments regarding this contract? Any questions or comments or debate? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Archie,
Yes.
Baronis,
Yes.
Gathing,
Yes.
Johnston,
Yes.
Verret,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Bolin.
Yes, 7 ayes, 0 nays. 7 on my agenda is a blank, but it should say approval for the concrete repairs at the Transportation Center.
So moved.
Motion by Gathing,
Second.
seconded by Johnston. Any discussion or questions? Any debate? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Baronis,
Yes.
Gathing,
Yes.
Johnston,
Yes.
Verret,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Archie,
Yes.
Bolin.
Yes, 7 ayes, 0 nays. Moving on to item H, information and proposals. You see the monthly reports, statement of revenues, and the FOIA requests. Any issues or questions regarding those? Okay, hearing none, move to old business. There is none on the agenda, so none will be called. Next is announcements. And first of all, does any board member have any questions, comments that they want to make at this point in time?
No.
Okay, then we'll defer to Dr. Lance because I understand you have some comments you want to make.
Yes, first I want to acknowledge every single student in the audience this evening. I have 2 daughters of my own, one who just wrapped up her first year in college, and one who is going into her senior year. And I teach my children to advocate for themselves, to use their voice. And tonight you did. So thank you. So I prepared some words because I was afraid if I did not, I would misspeak. So please bear with me. I recognize that I am new to Kankakee, and many people are just getting to know me. Moreover, my interactions with students have been extremely limited. But I hope to change that on this Thursday when I get the chance to interact with 50+ students for a focus group to further learn about the strengths and opportunities of our community. I've had the chance to listen to every student and adult who spoke this evening, and although it is not customary to address public comments, I find it necessary that I do. On June 18th, I held my first meet and greet. I met with more than 3 dozen, and of course, sorry, bear with me, it just signed out. Gotta love technology. On June 18th, I held my first meet and greet. I met with more than 3 dozen staff, students, families, and community members. During that meeting, I shared my core values. 2 of the 5 core values I spoke of were communication and integrity. I verbally committed to leading in a way that demonstrated the importance of two-way communication. That means that I would not only share information, but I would receive it as well. I take full responsibility for not personally meeting and or communicating with each of you, including the students who are not here tonight. I charged someone on my team to communicate that message to you, and unfortunately, that message was delegated to others. As a result, I do not know what was explicitly shared with you. I own that. I own that you did not hear directly from me. And I apologize that you were misled into believing that the Youth Empowerment Program was ending permanently. Integrity is the second core value I mentioned that evening on June 18th. Integrity is not just about being trustworthy. It's also about being clear, so there are no doubts about what is being shared or asked. That includes being transparent about the financial conditions of our district. We are not broke. We are not broke. But we absolutely must be good stewards of taxpayer dollars. And so here is what I can share. A 2023-24 report on the R3 YEP grant showed that we received $205,262. That was from the grant. Yet as a school district, we expended more than $1 million. This means more than $900,000 was spent from district funds. I have an obligation, not only to student workers, but all 4,700 students that attend Kankakee School District. And I plan to do that with the utmost integrity. Finally, I received an email from our grant writer, and we hope to learn if that grant will continue. If we receive those grant dollars, then we will 100% have the Youth Empowerment Program. I'll close by saying at the conclusion of this meeting, I will make myself available to students. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lentz. Calendar notes, Institute days are the 19th and 20th, as Dr. Gilbert explained. There's no school those days, but that's teachers are going to be here, I understand. 21st, we have the chance to meet our students again, some for the first time. Our next meeting is August 26th. It will be at Kankakee High School. And now with that, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Gathers.